Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The following contest is brought to you by Ground Wars Grappling and is for the GTFP Amateur Featherweight title. We are scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. It is time to meet the fighters. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, with a record of 4 wins and 1 defeat, representing Arte Suave Denmark, it's Mack Promanee! And his opponent standing across the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, with a record of 9 wins, 4 defeats and 2 draws, representing Next Generation, it's Dillan Douglas!
Here we go, Brad, our first of 2 or 3 title fights tonight. An amateur featherweight contest. Mack Promanee in the red corner. An exceptional wrestler, did very well last time out GTFP 7. He's taking on Dillan Douglas from Next Gen Island in the blue corner wearing the gray shorts. Man, this is an exciting fight.
This is an absolutely huge fight for amateur mixed martial arts in this part of the world, Steve.
And they don't hold the horses to start.
Absolutely not. Mack Promanee in the black and grey, Dillan Douglas in the grey with blue trim. Yeah, we've just had the IMAFs over in Bahrain, but there's plenty more talented amateurs not competing in those tournaments, and 2 of them are right here.
Absolutely. Last time out at GTFP 6, Mack Promanee won his fight with an impressive display of wrestling, position, control, and Dillan Douglas, 4 wins on the trot, all by finish. The guy doesn't know how to have a boring fight.
Absolutely not. Yeah, he's going to protect his neck here, in the words of the Wu-Tang Clan. But a great job to almost cartwheel over the guard. Shades of Sakuraba from Dillan Douglas.
Promanee using the butterflies really well there. Has now pulled Dillan further into his guard. Dillan looking to posture up.
We're seeing a big step up in level here, and it's no secret that that's a lot to do with the 2 teams that these guys are representing. Art Suave for Mack Promanee, Next Generation Northern Ireland for Dillan Douglas. 2 storied teams and 2 very technically adept fighters, leaving it all on the line, and it's Douglas looking for that high angle guillotine. He's going to move into side control now.
And is this, I know it's early in the fight, but is this bad news for Promanee? Because where he was so successful in the Eliminator, Dillan is nullifying him.
Well, if either of these 2 gentlemen thought they were going to come into this fight and have it all their own way, that's a huge error in judgment. These guys are absolutely top-notch, and I'm sure they both come in expecting a war, and Promanee looking to snap that guillotine. Good job there from Douglas to fight out and grab the Kimura grip.
Now he looked like he had the triangle, the triangle lock there to pull the Kimura out, but happy to take position here. Dillan was really confident earlier today. He was saying, don't expect this to go the distance. I'm going to finish this fight, and I'm going to finish it quick.
Looking to step over into full mount now, and he does. Promanee fighting him every step of the way. Douglas looking to sit out here and create some space. Ends up bucked off into side control by Promanee.
Thought that hammer fist certainly hurt Promanee, but
Douglas looked briefly for the knee right there. Now perhaps going to try and get some kind of crucifix. Their knee to the body, Steve.
Thank you,
we
Brad.
We know you love it.
Love it. So underutilized, and he's in the right position to do it.
Short punches from Douglas to finish this round. Promanee trying to block out.
And he whips
round
the arm. Seconds left.
Oh, it's over. The round is over.
Wow.
And Dillan Douglas was perhaps seconds away from one of the most dramatic finishes we've seen this evening. And Steve, we've had drama.
We're only 3 minutes in. Look, first round has to be clearly Dominic Dillan's round. Mack Promanee, what's he got to do different?
Well, this is a game of 2 halves perhaps, Steve. And if Mack Promanee can come out shoot early and get that top position, all of a sudden this could be a very different game. We've not seen him with the luxury of top control yet in this fight. We have seen it previously, and we know just how good this young man from Denmark is.
Using all of my psychology degree, which I don't have, looking at the body language, both fighters, neither seem, Promanee doesn't seem too disheartened by that first round. He's coming out, and Dillan, look at him, like a figure of confidence standing in the corner.
It's a 3-round fight, Steve. There's nothing wrong with losing the first round as long as you can come back and take the next 2.
That's right, and so I'm going to catch you there. GTFP are doing the 5 3-minute rounds for title fights, which I think is absolutely the way forward.
No, you're absolutely right, Steve. I'm a big fan of the 5-round title fight, amateur or pro.
Whoa,
oh, that's a tight guillotine.
That is tight.
Promanee with the big squeeze here. Douglas fighting it, trying to fight the hand as well.
He's trying hard, but that's a really tight guillotine.
Promanee's got the bite here. Douglas still fighting it. He looks like he may have a little bit of space. Hard to see how much he's trying to stack.
Does Mack run the risk here?
Promanee's let go of the far side hand. Douglas with a beautiful cartwheel.
Wow, was Promanee running the risk of burning out his arms there with that squeeze?
He may well be.
He doesn't.
And it's Douglas with the hammer fist now. Douglas still in the fight.
Absolutely stepping over, trying to get into that. Settles into the half guard.
And what a start to this second round.
Absolutely. How much did Promanee blow the proverbial wad with that squeeze? Because right now,
Promanee's trying to shrimp out, but he's taking shots here. Referee Neil Hall taking a close look at this one. Douglas getting the measure of his man here. Neil Hall's going to take a very close look. Promanee looking to retain guard, and he does.
Yeah, again, for a man under so much pressure, he still looks incredibly relaxed and composed on the bottom here.
Douglas looking to stand up for a bit of... beautiful wheelbarrow sweep from Mack Promanee. Promanee, though, going to be wary of the triangle.
Yeah, Douglas with that guard up high over the shoulder.
And Dillan Douglas there just took his eye off the ball for a second and left himself open to that wheelbarrow sweep.
Promanee didn't even fight him twice. He saw the opportunity and he took it.
Yeah, this could mean the difference between who wins this round. Promanee looking to go back to the guillotine, but it's half guard here.
Yeah, as soon as he grabbed the neck, you saw Dillan step over.
It can be done. It's very rare, and immediately stepping into full mount is Douglas and firing off those piston-like punches.
10 seconds left in the round.
He's not going to get the finish, you wouldn't think. Trying to switch for an armbar, but too close to the cage. More big punches. And a solid end to that second frame for Dillan Douglas. Now, Douglas put his foot on the gas a couple of times there, Steve. It's going to be very interesting to see how he comes out in the third. He's looking good, though.
Yeah, and again, Promanee, although he's been in awful positions, he's not taken any damage. He looks fresh. We've still got 9 minutes of this contest.
You know, he snapped onto that guillotine early in the second round after a brief period of bottom position. He hooked it up again. If that's Promanee's route to victory, Steve, it may have to come in the next 3 minutes, because it is not going to get any easier in terms of how much he can squeeze and in terms of how slippy Dillan Douglas is going to get the more this fight wears on. If the submission is what he's going for, especially if it's a guillotine, got to be looking to get the next 3 minutes for my money. Look at the confidence exuding from Dillan Douglas, though. He's bouncing on his feet. He's got his head held high. Promanee, for me, taking the deeper breaths of the two.
Yeah, and maybe fighting back a little bit of frustration as well. He doesn't look altogether gassed. He looks composed.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great fighters come out of the next generation family over the years, both in Northern Ireland and the UK. Likes of Alan Philpott come out of Next Gen Northern Ireland.
Absolutely, and then Paddy Pimblett, Molly McCann, Chris Fishgold from the Liverpool.
Yeah, 1 or 2 killers on those mats. Wearing the name Next Generation with pride. Oh, nice knee. And another knee from back position. Beautiful stuff from Dillan Douglas. Very, very rare to see outside of the tie rings.
Absolutely. Again, that body lock, that tight body control, leaning in close, making Mack carry his weight, and Mack covering up straight away. Knows they're coming. There's a knee to the body. I might have to buy you a pint every time one of those happens, Brad.
I don't think I can drink that many, Steve. I mean, I'll sure as hell try.
Lots of work up against the cage now, then with the shoulder shrug and the neck.
I don't want to get involved in hyperbole, Steve, but you watch 2 young men like this leaving it all in the cage, and it gives you a good feeling about where amateur MMA in this part of the world is going to go over the next few years. Oh, he's unloading. Douglas is unloading. He's changing levels, kicking the legs out from underneath Mack Promanee.
Who looks for that neck straight away and grabs the neck.
No, great work from Douglas there to switch.
Beautiful.
And I'm sure he must have got a bit of advice in the corner on that one, because as soon as Promanee hooked it, he dropped, switched and turned, and he's free in side control.
Absolutely. Promanee going to the well, again reaching for the neck, but this time more than prepared was Dillan Douglas.
Do not call these guys amateurs, Steve. No. Amateur is just a rule set with regards to these 2 young men.
Beautiful pass over.
Douglas back in side control now. Oh, big punches from Douglas. Again, putting his foot on the gas.
Yeah, Promanee looks to try and change the... Yeah! Oh, man, I love those knees to the body. Bro.
Big knee to the body, and Steve Promanee perhaps looking like he's running out of answers at this stage.
Yeah, it is starting to look a little more like the traffic is going all Dillan Douglas's way in this third as he crosses over again. He's passing at will now.
He's going to take the back here, whether he goes for the submission or looks to pound his man out. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, nice leverage on those shots.
His last 4 wins have all come from submission stoppage.
Final 10 seconds. He's going to go for the choke. He's not going to get it. Good work by Promanee to put his back onto the cage here, and Douglas relentless with that onslaught.
It certainly looked like in this round Douglas is coming into the ascendancy here. He seems a little bit fresher. He seems to have more answers.
And we are in the championship rounds. Time to separate the wheat from the chaff, the men from the boys, the champions from the contenders.
Absolutely. Again, looking at the body language in the corner. Dillan, eye contact, still looking confident. Mack, though, head down a little bit now. Knows he's got work to do in these rounds.
Yeah, I do believe, Steve, we may be on the verge of witnessing something very special here in terms of something of a coming out party for Dillan Douglas, but we've seen Mack Promanee fight before. This is not a man to write off with 6 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, you can't write this man off with 10 seconds left on the clock. The door closes and Neil Hall gets ready to start the first of the 2 championships rounds, round 4.
Douglas mixing up the strikes. Again, Promanee looking for that guillotine. He's tightened it up again.
Yeah, Douglas looked a little bit too relaxed there for a moment, like he was going to shrug it off again.
This is tight, Steve. He's got it right under. I don't believe he's got the arm hooked, and
he slipped
Douglas is out.
But it did seem almost, maybe he's just got no fear of it now. And now we get back to what we're used to seeing.
Promanee again driving in on the double leg. He's got the hands linked.
Absolutely, and dumps him.
Takes Douglas for a ride there.
Promanee, just got to get the leg out. He's in side control here. Very good dominant position for him. Looking to put the knee on belly, Brad.
And turnabout's fair play.
He's got to be more active here, though.
Does Douglas maybe feel like he's comfortably ahead? Is he taking a round off? If he is, it might not be best advised. He's given up An awkward position,
Oh,
Promanee.
and he rolls with it again, though, to come out. Again, it's almost like he's baiting him into trying to grab the neck, the guillotine, and every time he's done it now, he's slipped.
Straight out the back door and into top control. And Promanee struggled in this position, Steve.
Yeah.
He's going to be wary of the arm triangle setup here. It might just be the cage that saves him. Steps over with the
some
one
big
hook.
hammer fists. And now he's got the mount. Nice hut, not too high, but knees underneath the shoulder. He keeps looking for the arm.
He's looking to set that arm bar up. He can slide to the back if Promanee twists clockwise. Oh, scarf hold here as well.
Yeah, nice.
And he's got that arm triangle set up. He's going to step over, and he does. Looking for the big squeeze is Douglas. He needs to get his hips to the mat.
Yeah, and he's got, and there it is!
There's the submission.
Beautifully worked arm triangle, Brad.
I have not seen a more consummate performance for an amateur mixed martial artist for a long, long time. Dillan Douglas sweeps the golden ticket.
Absolutely, and you know, this is an amateur that's doing things right. No, take nothing away from Mack Promanee, now 4-2, but Dillan Douglas 10-4-2 as an amateur. Wow.
Douglas, very emotional in the cage, tears in his eyes, I believe.
That's a good win over a game, tough, talented competitor.
That's a huge win. And let's take nothing away from Mack Promanee.
No.
Unfortunately, he wasn't the better man tonight. On any other night, he may well have been. Even in the fourth round, he was fighting back. He had top position. He was looking for that guillotine choke.
Yeah, no
Dillan
need.
Douglas, though, take a bow. That was phenomenal.
Absolutely, no need at all for Mack Promanee to have his head down. Easy for us to say we're not feeling the disappointment, but a hell of a performance, a tough, gritty fight. Well done.
I don't doubt for 1 second that Mack Promanee will be back in the gym next week, working on what he's got to do.
Absolutely,
Dillan Douglas will maybe allow him a couple of days off to celebrate this phenomenal win here at Golden Ticket Fight Promotion 7.
And here's hoping, Brad, that we get to see this young man defend his title in February.
Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for two young men that left everything in the cage tonight. And so we reach our conclusion, 2 minutes and 8 seconds into round number 4. But your winner via head and arm choke, and now GTFP Amateur Featherweight Champion, Dillan Douglas. And your appreciation, ladies and gentlemen, for Mack Promanee.
How are you?
How are you doing, champ?
Sore and tired. Very, very tired.
That was a hell of a fight. Mack Promanee is no pushover. This kid is tough, durable, technical, but you just seemed one step ahead tonight.
I knew that I've been working non-stop with stand-up with everyone from my gym. Reese McKee, Glenn Irvine, Rodney Moore, obviously, greatest coach, and Eamon Loughran. Eamon Loughran, WBO welterweight world champion. He's had me on for 2 years now. Since I've been with him, I haven't lost a fight. That's 5 in a row now. Other than that, the grappling, obviously, Ryan Green, top-notch BJJ guy. And he's the one that taught me how to do, obviously, that exactly perfect moment.
It seemed that every time he reached for the neck, he looked for the guillotine, that you were able to just slide away from it. Was this part of your research?
No, I didn't even know I thought he would have came in first minute, struck and banged by me. But I think he knew I wanted to stand, but I took it different whenever I started going for takedowns. I mean, I may be working my stand up, but I'm a ground fighter at heart. But that guillotine, the first one I had on me, was tight as hell. Tight as hell. And I thought, whenever I get the mount the first time, right, that's over, that's over. Then I started punching, I heard it was last 10 seconds, so I was like, right, I'll punch harder, hopefully it'll stop. My arms went dead, but powered through, and that's what happened. So
It's seemed like every couple of months now I get to have a conversation with you. February, GTFP 8, maybe defending it?
we'll see how it goes. Just listen to what Rodney says, and if Rodney says something else, it might be something else. But that's a hell of a cut now, I'm feeling it. So I think I'm taking it all the while off, sorting out my diet, and getting everything down to the right motion.
Well, I just want to say congratulations after a hell of a performance. Your new featherweight champion, ladies and gentlemen.